I want to get the pulse of everyone watching right now because I'm seeing a lot of national pundits. I'm seeing Colin Cowherd's standing rankings for next season all exclude the Browns. So if you believe in the 2024 Cleveland Browns, hit that thumbs up button. Could Justin Fields be traded to the Browns? It's wild. It's crazy. It's outlandish. It's the NFL offseason. So ESPN got all their NFL insiders, 11 of them to be specific, and they tossed some questions their way, including one move they would like to see this offseason. And one of them included Justin Fields going to the Browns. So let's look at what they said, and then I'll give you my reaction to this. But one move this offseason. So we'll run through all 11 moves just for the sake of entertainment. Mike Tannenbaum suggested Justin Fields to the Falcons. We've got the Commanders trading up for Caleb Williams. Dan Graziano said the Chiefs re-signed Chris Jones. How about Yates suggesting the Seahawks sign Patrick Queen, get him out of the division? We've got L'Jarius Sneed going to the Philadelphia Eagles. And then we've got some more Justin Fields trades. This one's Mike Clay suggesting he goes to Atlanta as well. Jeremy Fowler said the Patriots should swoop in and steal Baker Mayfield from the Bucs. I've got Matt Miller saying Justin Fields to the Steelers. Then I've got Moody suggesting Mike Evans to the Jets. And then the Vikings extend Justin Jefferson to the biggest non-quarterback contract in NFL history. And finally, we land at Seth Walder, who said Justin Fields to the Browns. So let's talk about Justin Fields going to the Browns and Seth Walder's perfect offseason move. We're going to break down his reasoning and explanation bit by bit, and I'll give you my reaction to it as it goes on. So let's read, shall we? Seth Walder wrote, the Browns trade for quarterback Justin Fields. This is a wild one, I know. But if I were the Browns, I would look at Deshaun Watson as mostly a sunk cost and try to upgrade at quarterback. Let's pause it right there. We are already at a sunk cost for Deshaun Watson. It hasn't even been 2 full seasons of him on the field, a season and a half after being suspended 11 games, and it's a sunk cost despite it being a 5-year contract. Time to burn the boats. We're done. I don't think so. You can just say you didn't watch Browns games. Like, that's okay to say, actually, right? They weren't on the national TV every single week. They didn't have a ton of primetime games. It's okay to say you didn't actually watch the Browns from start to finish for a majority, if not all, of the season. Because if you did, and if you did watch Deshaun Watson from start to finish, yeah, there were some bad moments. I'm not going to act like the pick 6 against the Steelers and the Ravens were great starts to the games, but he made some tremendous throws. He made some great throws to Amari Cooper on the sideline. He used his legs to extend plays. He had some great halves. He had some great games. He was a big reason why the Browns were winning football games when he was the starter. So it's okay if you just admit, I didn't watch a lot of Browns football, and just box score hunting, it looks like Deshaun Watson wasn't doing all that great in Cleveland. Let's trade for a new quarterback. Just say you didn't watch the games. That's all right. Not everyone's going to blame you for not watching every single game, every single season. But don't act like Deshaun Watson is already toast in Cleveland when we watched him have some great moments for the Cleveland Browns in 2023. And we're going to talk about those great moments in just a little bit. Seth Walder also wrote this, though. With no first-round pick and so much money already heading Watson's way, this would be tough to do. But trading a second or third round pick for Fields, still on his rookie contract, is feasible. And I'd like to see Fields in Kevin Stefanski's offense. I'm going to pause again and say no hedging. Do not half-ass, quarter-ass, two-thirds-ass the plan to maximize Deshaun Watson in 2024. And trading the only pick you have in the first 2 rounds of this upcoming draft is not going to help the better and overall improvement of Deshaun Watson in this offense. You are not going to make the product on the field any better if you take away a draft pick that could be used to aid and better Deshaun Watson in Cleveland with all of his supporting cast. Especially when you look at the Browns' recent draft history in the first 2 rounds. This year, their first-round pick, 23rd overall, belongs to the Houston Texans for one final year. They have their second-round pick at number 54 overall. Last year's first-round pick went to the Texans. Last year's second-round pick was traded to the Jets and then eventually traded to the Packers in part of the Aaron Rodgers trade. 2022's first-round pick went to the Houston Texans. The Browns had their second-round pick, but they traded back coincidentally with the Houston Texans and landed Martin Emerson. In fact, the last time the Browns picked someone in the first or second round, you got to go back to 2021. Greg Newsome and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And I think we can agree that both of those players have been very good players with the Browns, right? I'm not interested in trading down this year. No, I don't want to see the Browns go 2024, 2023, 2022 with no first and no second round pick. Yes, if you trade down, you could get some more picks, but no. At some point, you got to take quality over quantity. And when it's 3 years without a first or a second, it's getting too long. You're getting way too risky about not having anyone in the farm system for the next couple of years without having a first or a second round pick. And so whether it's trading down or just trading it away to get Justin Fields, that is too long of a stretch without a first or a second rounder for me. Pass. Not hedging, because this is a hedge move, right? You could trade for Justin Fields with a second rounder. If it works out with Deshaun Watson, awesome. If Deshaun Watson starts to stink and you want to move on from him, you've got just Justin Fields on the bench. But this is a hedge move, and I'm not interested in hedging. You made your bed. Got to go all in 2024 with Deshaun Watson. There's no turning back now. Now, before we get to the rest of Seth Walder's article, I do want to share with you guys an awesome deal with our sponsor today, which is Game Time. So, if you are looking to score some of the best seats at any local sporting event, get started with Game Time today because they're giving the Dog Pound an awesome deal when you download the Game Time app, which is $20 off your first purchase. Now, I'll tell you more about that later on, but if you want to go to a Cavs game, for example, or if you want to go see a Guardians game, or if you want to go to any other concert in your local area, whatever it may be, wherever it may be, check out Game Time today because they're going to have the absolute lowest price at the last minute guaranteed. So download the Game Time app and enter code BROWNSCHAT. And when you do that, you're going to get $20 off. I look at it as Game Time. They've got your first concession run. They've got your parking covered by saving that $20. So download Game Time today and use promo code BROWNSCHAT for $20 off. Shout out to Game Time for supporting the Cleveland Browns Report. Getting back to Seth Walder's write-up here, he says, the alternative is simply hoping that Watson improves. And if not, wasting another year of a talented roster. May I propose another alternative? How about you use that second round pick to better the 2024 Cleveland Browns by selecting a guy that can get on the field and make an impact on offense or defense compared to using it for a potential backup quarterback that may never see the field if Deshaun Watson plays great football, which he did for so many years in Houston. I don't think it's just one option of, well, if it doesn't work out, you are screwed with Watson. Well, you could use that second round pick to help Deshaun Watson, help this offense, get more weapons to take down Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, help replenish the defensive line, whatever it may be. But if you trade that second round pick for Justin Fields and Deshaun Watson plays well, you got Fields sitting on the bench as one of the most backup expensive quarterbacks in the National Football League. And listen, this is not a slant against Justin Fields. This is just not maximizing the 2024 Cleveland Browns, right? And also I'll add in the fact that Watson hasn't played more than 6 games since he arrived in Cleveland. His first 6 games with the Browns back in 2022 was the last time he strung together 6 consecutive games. 2023, off and on throughout the entire year. So, Seth, if I may, how about just using that second round pick on a guy like a receiver, maybe Troy Franklin, Jalen Polk, maybe a running back to help Nick Chubb back as he works his way back into the mix, instead of trading it away for a quarterback that might sit on the bench the whole entire season. I also want to remind Seth and other people that Deshaun Watson's 2023 season was not all roses. But to act like there was no good part, come on. Titans game, 289 yards, 2 touchdowns. Would have been over 300 yards if the referee did not erroneously rule Amari Cooper out on the sideline, right? How about the second half against the Ravens? The last time we saw Deshaun Watson play. A perfect 14 for 14, 134 passing yards, 16 crucial rushing yards, led his team on a game-winning drive at the end to get into Dustin Hopkins' field goal range and 1 touchdown. I'm not giving up on Deshaun Watson because the best 2 games that he played in 2023, unfortunately, was the last time he would play for a foreseeable stretch, right? Titans game goes into the bye, has the shoulder injury. We really don't see him until the Cardinals game, minus a couple of snaps against the Colts. And then he gets injured after the Ravens game when he plays his best half of the season, and we lose him for the rest of the year. So, no, I'm not going to be a victim of just looking at the stats. I'm going to use the eye test. And the eye test tells me there's plenty to work on with Deshaun Watson in 2024, but it also tells me there were some great plays, there were some great moments, and there was some overall just great football from start to finish, especially against the Ravens and the Titans, to believe the Browns have something in Deshaun Watson, right? He had so many great years in Houston. Am I really supposed to believe that he woke up and just forgot how to play football in Cleveland? No. I think what's a much more likely reality is he sat out for an entire year and a half and came back a bit rusty in 2022. And then in 2023, every time he was starting to get going, like the Titans and the Ravens game, he suffered an injury and then missed more time. Let's get some continuity. Let's get some rhythm going. Let's get some consistency going with Deshaun Watson before we throw in the towel on him. Now, having said that, I do believe the Browns and every team, for that matter, should learn from 2023 and invest in a backup quarterback. And so it's not Justin Fields in this situation, but Joe Flacco returning potentially, someone else, invest in a good backup quarterback. Otherwise, you got PJ Walker giving us all heart attacks every single Sunday. Now let me know, would you trade for Justin Fields? Give me your opinion. Time is yours. I'm going to open the floor to everyone watching here and give me a yes or no down below in the comment section. Now, let's just take a moment to wrap up the video by talking about Fields as a player because I'm a big fan of Justin Fields, and I'm sure a lot of Buckeyes fans watching right now are also big fans of Justin Fields. And we've seen a lot of growth and improvement from his first season to end of year 3 in Chicago, but ultimately, the lack of availability, missing time, injured in all 3 seasons is a little bit of a concern, but there are some great things, like what he's able to do with his legs, right? He rushed for over 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns in 2022. And then his awful offensive coordinator, Luke Getsy, in 2023, decides to make him a pocket passer for the first quarter of the season when that's not what Justin Fields is, right? Justin Fields is an elusive runner. He's a playmaker. He's a game changer. And yes, he has things to work on, like not holding on to the football for so long and taking what the defense gives you. But I have seen Justin Fields make some incredible throws downfield with velocity, with zip, with accuracy, with touch. So I'm sure Justin Fields is going to have an excellent NFL career, but the Browns have their quarterback in Deshaun Watson for 2024. Do not hedge. Do not half-ass 2024 by trading a pick away for a quarterback that may very well sit on your bench for all year. And if he doesn't sit on your bench and you do end up putting him in this wild trade idea, let's just say it got to that point. Is Justin Fields going to step into this offense and completely turn it around? Maybe, maybe not. We're just speculating, but something tells me if it gets to that point, it might not be smooth waters. Now, let's pick a card to wrap up the show. Mr. Chipper. We got Jake Chipper with us today. Which card do you want to go with?
We've been talking about Watson. I'm going to go 4 of clubs. 4 of clubs.
4 clubs?
For my boy Deshaun.
I'll go with the Ace of Hearts.
Ace of Hearts. That was my second choice was going to be an ace.
5 of Hearts.
No, I was going to go 5.
5 of Hearts.
Oh, I was going to go 5.
Yeah, I'm sure you were. No one gives a shit. All right, we're going to see you guys later. Enjoy your weekend, everyone.